Hi guys, this is Lisha from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back. This is my October witchy review video. So we're gonna be going over um what I did in my bullet journal the past last lunar cycle. Actually, we're going to do, especially for this video, the last two lunar cycles, since I didn't do a review for the September witchy setup. So let's just start. Um, right now, what's in here are the pens and stuff for my November color scheme. The junk journal, I haven't been keeping it in here because I haven't been using it too much. I've been stuffing it with things and it's gotten thick. These are pieces that I want to use on the spreads on the pages, but yeah, it's just too chunky to have in here while writing at the moment. So yeah, starting off with my collection. Well, first I want to show you these pages. These are my this was a spread I did, book series I want to finish, and I decided to make a series of videos about series of books, and I wound up redoing this and categorizing this list, adding to it. I do have a Goodreads account link in the description, and I made shelves to help me organize this a little bit more. But yeah, I just created different symbols so that I know what book series go on which list, meaning in the future what books I should talk about or book series I should talk about in which video. I've already started making these videos. I filmed two. I probably will have two, potentially three more, and that's where the spread helps. I had extra dot grid paper in from my last bullet journal notebook, so I pulled out a sheet since it's perforated and used that. I'll probably like tip this in or something, because just having it loose here is not really my thing. Other than that, I don't really have much. I started making spreads for other things on these pages, but then never really used them. I had luckily made them with pencils, so I was able to erase what I did. The headers, though, I didn't, so I just put washi tape over them. This page, I'm supposed to be keeping track of my palpitations, and I haven't been. Bad girl. And then starting working out ideas for 2020. This is first iteration of my annual strategy page. So yeah, this is mostly holidays, busy times, free times, when I think I should be doing restock, or huge big restocks. Also put in lots of astrological information for 2020 here so that I know when certain things are happening. So I know where my energy will be up and when it will be down. And also my business does have some correlation with astrology. So new products, current products, when, I should highlight them or promote them more. More information will be added to this later on, but this is the early iteration. I'll probably cover this up too because I wound up not needing that. So yeah, I'm thinking this collections insert will continue with me into 2020. Oh, now we have my content calendar spreads So as I said, I'm going to do the last 2 months or so review. This was my October content calendar. I just got to go in and put the actual dates down that I published these videos. But otherwise, this will stay pretty much the same. This was tea themed. Here we go with my weeklies. So my surgery was on October 2nd. I just didn't have the energy to really think about too many things, let alone do them after. So yeah, this I had a lot going on this week. I just didn't fill in the weekly spread. This is the week after the surgery. So I've already recovered for a week. I started making plans. I didn't post anything on social media, even though I've made these plans. I did go through and do a lot of the stuff here. And I decided to try a weekly habit tracker. Didn't use it, but just having it here reminded me to do these things as much as I could. Another weekly, this is probably the next week after, actually. And is it? No. It's the last week of October, and yeah, I didn't this helped me remember because a lot of things started coming up. My Aunt Shirley had passed away the week before. I was still in recovery, but now we had the viewing and the funeral and all of that. Basically, doing YouTube videos was what kept me going, that and reading. It kept me from being bored, but also active. Or too active, overactive when I'm still recovering. And yeah, I tried the habit tracker again, didn't use it, but that's okay. Next, we have my daily spreads. So my monthly log and daily spreads. So we've got this is where we're going back to September. Dark moon in Virgo. So basically this cover page is supposed to be filled in with stuff after, but I've been behind on, doing my meditations for Song of the Year, the studying for the Plant Ally Project and the essential oil. And so I have put that on the back burner, especially this particular month. This month I was leading up to trying to get myself together and prepare for this surgery and the aftermath. So if you'll remember, it was a butterfly theme. I showed you guys this in the Dark Moon and Virgo Plan With Me. Here's my filled in field and sky notes. Again, I use the astrology podcast link in the description. They have a YouTube channel to take note of the important things that are, or major things that are happening astrologically in the sky, as well with the planets and signs here, and then taking note of what's happening here on the ground in the earth, plants that I'm noticing more of. For me, white aster and the primrose was really blooming. I especially noticed it because I dog sat for my high priestess, a friend of mine, and she lives on the side of a mountain, and there was tons of this stuff everywhere. All of a sudden, the white aster and primrose all over the place. For magic, for I release and I manifest, I release during the full moons and manifest during the dark moons or new moons. Um, and I let go of doubts in my abilities and rebellion against repetition via frustration. Um, I just have this thing where I'm like, I don't want to repeat myself. That includes like doing something over, and I realize that practice makes perfect is kind of the opposite of this kind of I don't want to repeat myself idea. So I was trying to let that go, and not be frustrated, not let the frustration, you know, manifest into not getting things done, not getting better at stuff because I'm not practicing because I don't want to repeat myself. I hope that made sense. For my manifestation, good health, safe surgery, minimum pain with maximum strength. I didn't do a lot of like magical work behind this. I did let all my witchy and non-witchy friends and family know about the surgery. That was a big deal for me during this month, during this lunar month period. So making sure they knew, and anybody who was willing to send me good energy, positive reinforcement, to do any kind of magical work for me health wise, I let them know that it was all welcome and everybody did their thing however they wanted to. So for my memories page, and I might add to this actually because of what I just said, I didn't think about that when I was filling this in. But yeah, letting people know about the surgery. Uh, like I had a bunch of dinners and lunches, and I went out to happy hour with my brothers. Like it was a whole set of events. So here I dog sat twice, and it was really relaxing. Like I said, at their house, they live on the side of a mountain, so it was very grounding and earthy experience. Um, yeah, it was just a really relaxing experience, and dogs and their unconditional love are great. Went to Camp Anime, which was great. I dressed up. I had like outfits and what do you call it? Sort of cosplay, but not really. More just costume. I was a Mori girl or Mori K, so I made that a whole separate thing because I went to a thrift store for the first time for clothing in a long time, if ever, actually, and got clothing that I could reuse for other stuff for that. So it was a huge deal for me. And going to Camp Anime is both a lot of work, but also relaxing at the same time. Again, being out in nature. But I'm also volunteering and being a den mother, so there's that stress that's different than usual. But yeah, got to see my friend Deborah and hang out with her the day before. So yeah. These stamps and also like the stamps on the other pages came from a friend's collection. She had lots of different types of butterflies, so I put that all over. That was while I was dog sitting. I actually, also while I was dog sitting, I was kind of butterfly sitting because my friend, she and her family were kind of raising butterflies. When I got there were about 13 chrysalises, and about 4 or 5 butterflies emerged from their chrysalises, and I had to kind of release them from the aquarium and bring them outside, and that was a whole experience, a very emotional one. I have a whole like spread journal page talking about that because it was a lot. Um, it brought up a lot of things, and just the idea of like rebirth and that kind of thing was huge that particular weekend. Like quarterly review, I did it and I did it on time, and that was like a big deal for me. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender from beginning to end, a show I've seen lots of episodes of, but not the entirety, and that was part of the readathon that happened, so yay. Another readathon I did was Zodiacathon, and that worked out really well. I did not do my monthly review because I was just too busy preparing at the beginning of that next lunar cycle to have surgery. So these pages are blank. Now, dailies, here's my Avatar: The Last Airbender readathon spread, and what I need to add here is White Lotus. I had been waiting for this to dry, the black, and I forgot. But yeah, so I didn't read all the books I was supposed to, but I read most of them, I think. Uh, yes, yes, no, 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 yes, and yes. Well, I read half of them. Uh, There we go. I went back to kind of having some general journaling every day. Um, Here, well, yeah, a lot of it was just preparing. Cleaning was a priority, particularly my room. Um, Fixing my drawers, getting shelves up on the walls, putting stuff away, throwing out, decluttering, um, getting my last Etsy orders out. Like I said, the dog sitting, um, preparing my hair for surgery. My surgery was not on my head. I had a myectomy, which was on my abdomen, but as a black woman with natural hair, I just didn't want to have like a dry ass rock on my head for the 2 to 3 days I would be in the hospital. Did not want to deal with that. Um, and didn't want dirty, sweaty hair either. So not a huge deal. But yeah, scheduling some social media posts. This was the day I went out and went to the thrift store, and a day we went out with my parents to eat. Here's my quarterly review, and that was it. So now we're on to the Dark Moon in Libra, which was the most recent um, lunar cycle. Here's the cover page. Here is my uh, monthly log with events and projects. So the myectomy, you can see it was like early on. Um, and yeah, my projects for the month were very few. It was just to have uh, stuff to read and watch, do a recover from the surgery, and yeah. I added this Stranger Things tracker because these are the shows I wanted to watch. I've only seen the first season of Stranger Things. I wanted to watch both seasons 2 and 3, but I didn't get to it. I have a TV show tracker spread or page in my collections insert, but I didn't have space anymore. So we're back to the tea theme, as you can see. Here's my Field and Sky notes, again filled in from the astrology podcast. What I released during the full moon was shame and regret and manifesting customers, money, and prosperity. That didn't really happen. I didn't really do anything for that other than write it here, and I realized later on in my review that I wasn't ready. Like, I was no longer in pain after a certain point, but I'm still tired. Even now as I'm filming this, like, my energy runs down a lot quicker. So, like, my body is putting all the work into healing more than anything else. My memories page, I kept it really simple, again with the tea theme. hanging the shelves, spookathon, witchathon, those are readathons, like I said, cleaning, all of that stuff was priorities. And then finishing up, I did do my month in review. I'll put in my numbers for income and expenses later. But I did a lot of what I planned, which wasn't much, which was less than my usual. Of course, that was on purpose because I knew I'd be recovering from surgery. Projects still in the works are from like 3 months ago because that was the point. And my dailies didn't do many. Like, didn't do many. I wanted to, because I had a lot on my mind after the surgery. I wanted to mostly journal, not really do much every day. But I didn't even have the energy for that most of the time. So the 21st was really when I was like, okay, I have the energy to add in daily, using my bullet journal daily again. And so that's what I did. That's a continuation of my review because I started too early with my daily pages. Here's my spookathon spread. I participated. It's by Books in Lala. It's a readathon. It went from the 14th to the 20th. These are the books I read. 4 out of the 5 I planned to, and things went good. Victober, I kind of half-assed participated in. I read some of the stories from Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes and The Importance of Being Earnest and A Woman of No Importance, which were the group reads. I actually listened to the audio books, which were of the plays for both. They were amusing and thought-provoking. You should check them out. Victorian literature, reading Victorian literature was the point of Victober. And then the Samhain Witchathon. I read basically one book for 4 prompts. I didn't plan on doing the group read. The pic of my costume I put up and didn't get to my book with a fire on the cover. But otherwise, it went well this year. This is another readathon run by Crescent Moon Reads. They are awesome. Check them out. Link in the description. October 24th through the 31st was when this ran. And then, yeah, this daily was a lot, as was the Fridays, because this was the viewing for my Aunt Shirley and her funeral and repast. Seeing a lot of family that I don't normally see in these unfortunate circumstances, connecting with people again, and yeah, it was a lovely time, if that makes sense. Like, her passing was necessary. She was 97 years old and she's resting now, basically. And yeah, that's my last daily spread. So that was my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you did not know, the November Dark Moon Witchy plan with me is already up. Link in the description. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.